Marvel Animation is back with the first ever What If spin-off, Marvel Zombies, just in time for spooky season. And the question we're going to answer today, is this worth your time? Or is this a multiverse story that could have been left on the shelf? We answer all of that and more as we break down everything that happens in Marvel Zombies. So in season 1 of What If, we got an episode called What If Zombies? And this is a 4-episode miniseries that continues that story of a zombie-ridden MCU world. And the very first thing that sticks out is that this is not a direct continuation of that story, at least not right away. Eventually, in episode 3, we do get to see Peter Parker, the floating head of Scott Lang and T'Challa, go back to Wakanda, where a zombie Infinity Gauntlet wielding Thanos is waiting for them. That's the teaser we got in the What If episode back in season 1. Episode 1 of Marvel Zombies introduces this zombie MCU world through the lens of a new group of heroes: Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, and Riri Williams, the group that many believe will be the core of a future Young Avengers project in the MCU. We got Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Ironheart. It's a great squad. And after the post-credit scene from the Marvels, where Kamala is recruiting Kate for what has to be a Young Avengers Champions initiative, this feels like what they're setting up. But I will say, this is either very good or very bad news for people who want to see this group in a Young Avengers project. It could be very good news because we get a taste of it and the chemistry is great. It's proof of concept and it works. But it also could be very bad news because that happened in 2023. A lot has happened at Marvel Studios and in the MCU since then. The original plan could have been Young Avengers, but this might be our consolation prize. Regardless, we follow this trio in episode 1, and eventually Kate and Riri get overtaken by a horde of zombies, leaving Kamala as the last man standing. She is also left holding the MacGuffin of this story, which is a space transmitter that, if taken out of the atmosphere, can send a distress signal to the Nova Corps on Xandar to come help Earth with the zombie problem. Keep that in mind, we'll get back to that later. So, Kamala is the lead character of this story, which makes a lot of sense. We've seen it in video games, we've seen it in shows, we've seen it in movies. Here it is again in animation. And a lot of different Marvel characters come up along the way, some of them fan favorites. We get to see the Black Widow crew, Red Guardian, Yelena, and Melina back in action and back in Ohio, which is always fun to see. Shout out Midwest. We get Yelena and Melina giving a sacrifice play as well, losing them along the way, leaving Red Guardian left standing until he is taken down in a very Red Wedding kind of way. But I will say, Red Guardian has another great emotional moment in the show, making him 3 for 3 as he shows up. Shout out Dave Harper. We also pick up a crew of MCU Bay Area heroes with Shang-Chi, Katie, and our boy Jimmy Woo. Now, this event in Marvel Zombies takes place before the events of Shang-Chi in this universe, which leads us to the Mandarin Wen Wu coming in to make again another zombie sacrifice play, leaving Shang-Chi and Katie with the 10 rings, bringing Awkwafina into that hero status. We also pick up some MCU veterans along the way. First off, Valkyrie as the gatekeeper to New Asgard, and Baron Zemo as the leader of this zombie asylum kind of facility. Very Jeffrey Dean Morgan from The Walking Dead, very Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us, zombie stuff. But after all that, the biggest pop you're going to get from this show is Blade as Moon Knight, the Fist of Khonshu. What are we doing here? This is that multiverse combo that you like to see. You have this iconic Marvel Knights character, Blade, taking on the mantle of another iconic Marvel Knights character, Moon Knight. It's awesome to see those two combined. But this is our first look at Mahershala Ali's Blade. Shout out Wesley Snipes. But what makes this even more of a bummer, not just that it's animation, Ali doesn't even voice the character, meaning that this is not really even technically Mahershala Ali's Blade yet. But I will say, seeing Blade as Moon Knight was pretty freaking rad. But the roster of this show could have been literally anybody and anything that wasn't already bitten in the What If Season 1 episode, What If Zombies. While we get a great cast of characters here, and I love the chemistry, this is largely new characters from Phases 4 and 5, save for Valkyrie and Baron Zemo. Blade and Moon Knight's the only real flex we get in that situation, and it's dope, but you kind of wish that there was a little more. The biggest draw of this show, the biggest winner for Marvel Zombies, is definitely the action and these epic fight scenes that they set off between Marvel heroes and Marvel Zombies. While the character selection left a little bit to be desired, they did get into their multiverse bag with these fights, pairing up different Marvel characters that we'll never see on screen together in these epic battles. Let's list off a few. First off, an undead Captain Marvel against an undead Icarus in something that they call the Valley of the Broken Gods. We also get zombie Namor and his Atlantean crew doing underwater zombie stuff, things I've never really seen before in a zombie movie or show. Now, why are we underwater, you ask? It's because Zemo took the raft, that floating prison in the ocean, and took it as the Titanic across the sea to New Asgard. Again, very epic. The Blade and Ghost fight might be the highlight of the entire show for me. It's an awesome skill set versus skill set battle, and another bump for Ghost, who had also had some great action scenes earlier this year in Thunderbolts. To keep it rolling, we get a Mad Max style scene with Shang-Chi, Katie, and friends, and they get to sing the epic Lights by Journey, which is the best Journey song. And we also get a zombie Thor fighting a Hawk that is acting as the battery for the Infinity Stones. Again, nerdy Nirvana stuff. This is the type of multiverse what if that you want to get out of a show like this. It's epic, it's crazy, it's putting it all together, it's a Marvel fever dream. The last big takeaway is the way that Marvel Zombies ends, leaving the door open for a potential season 2 centered around a big bad that fans cannot get enough of. The whole deal with this miniseries is that Wanda Maximoff is the queen of the dead, and she needs Kamala Khan to help her do her chaos magic thing across this zombie world. Standing in her way is that Infinity Hulk we talked about, and the Nova Corps, who is not waiting in the wings to come rescue us. No. They are standing outside of Earth, quarantining us in, considering us a dead zone. What the hell? This one ends with Wanda pulling off the Chaos Dream move that she did in Age of Ultron, but this time to our sweet Kamala Khan. It's worth noting that Kamala and Wanda are the main characters of this show. They are the protagonist and antagonist, and Iman Biani and Elizabeth Olsen both got back in the booth to voice these roles, and it adds such a great watchability having them both back in this show. It feels more real, it feels more like the characters we know. It's especially exciting for those MCU fans that have been waiting for Lizzie Olsen to get back on screen. Lizzie, man, I know you're listening. We need you back. Come on back. The MCU misses you. Anyway, after a little back and forth, the show ends with Kamala seemingly waking up as if this was all a dream. Everything's fine. Riri and Kate are there and all seems well until Kamala starts getting real-time zombie apocalypse flashbacks happening right in front of her. The last thing we see is Kamala watching Riri take on a zombie horde as Riri exclaims that this is all Wanda and it's all fake and Kamala needs to wake up. Bang! Credits. It's over. Wanda's on her Westview shit again, and this time she's doing it from a zombie angle. And with all of that, season 2 seems all but assured. We don't know when Marvel Zombies is coming back to Disney+. So the big question, is this worth a watch for Marvel Zombies? If you're a big MCU fan, of course it is. It's characters you love, interacting with other characters you love, doing dope Marvel things. If you're a fan of zombie or TVMA superhero content, this show also is definitely for you. The zombie-ness of it all is very fun, it's engaging, and it doesn't get bogged down in the rules, and there are plenty of gruesome and violent deaths. A lot of care was put in to the blood and guts department. Now, if you fall into the camp of a fan who doesn't really catch everything and are on the fence about seeing this show at all, I would say you should watch it. It's fun, it's harmless, it's about 2 hours, it's a good time, but there's not a lot of must-see energy behind it, especially with the way it ends leading to a season 2. It's something that maybe you can catch now, but also you'd be okay catching later, especially if you're comparing this to the upper echelon of Marvel animation. I'm talking specifically about X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, 2 projects that I genuinely believe are top tier MCU in this decade. If you enjoyed Eyes of Wakanda, you'll probably also enjoy Marvel Zombies, just like I hope you enjoyed this video. So please let us know in the comments, what did you think of Marvel Zombies? Are you excited for season 2? And what other what if episodes do you hope get a Marvel animation miniseries? I'm Matt Remke. Until then, we'll see you next time.